All right, we should be live. Welcome back, everyone, to yet another Moonshire Monday. I am starting this one off in the same place as last week, a big empty room, and we are going to decorate it. I have a lot more updates to the level editing system. It's going to be great. I'm excited to show it off. I'm also trying out the background removal feature, so we're going to see if that works out. I can already see that it's having a little bit of issues with, like, the microphone. Ooh, look at that. I'm, like, holding an invisible sphere. That's so weird. Or when I grab my mouse. Look how weird that looks. I love that. I'm seeing a lot of folks in chat already. Very happy to see you all. I'm going to give it a couple more seconds to let it filter in, because I know there's a bit of delay. But this is how it's going to work, is that I'm going to switch over to the shovel, and we can place in little blocks like this. And I showed this off last week. No major differences here, but the big difference is how everything's going to come together. Because there are multiple tools, multiple items that you can wield to help with level editing. And this is the tool for putting down the platforms in the ground, but there's going to be other tools for putting down the decorations and getting everything else in the level all set up. But let me go ahead and say hi to the chat. I'm seeing a lot of folks already. Let me scroll all the way up because we got a lot of folks. We got Mr. Banana and Bayron and Queer You and Crystal Azur, Bayron, Tijlipa. We got, let's see, who else we got here? Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm reading through all these. There are a lot of folks in chat. One Flex, T-Mackle, and Short Circuit. I saw Wolf in there, and I see in Twitch we got Bayron and Human World Studio. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate that. And I'm excited for more Moonshire Monday. We're going to be doing some level design today. I was talking a little bit about how last week I started off the stream in a very similar way, just a big empty room, and we're going to decorate it. And I didn't really succeed last week. This time I'm going to, because there's more that I have available to help with designing this stuff. And actually, I'm going to start by getting rid of these blocks, because I kind of want to do a foundation based around like the grassy blocks and stuff. Is this your own engine or a commercial one? It's based off of Love 2D, but a lot of the engine like details, like this level editing system, this is not built into Love 2D. This is not, this is all custom. So what I'm gonna do is, the way this works is when you're holding a tool that's able to have level editing features, you can open this UI. Now I'm gonna switch over from Rampart to Sod. This is a different block type. So now I can put down some grass, and that's what we're going to start with. And you saw I also have this height option. We can put down some taller grass. And actually, I think I'm able to just like place them up here too if I wanted to. So it's working. Using a new transparent background. Yes, I'm trying out the background feature. I am, you know, we'll see. There's parts of it that I like, because this is the big problem, is my game is full screen right now. But before, I had it more in like a square size. It was more narrow. And same with like the coding structure. I had a bunch of the screen chopped off for this, so it wasn't very inclusive. But now it has like the full screen showing, but I don't know. When you have the background removed, it gets a little bit weird. Like it's chopping off some of my hair. I have hair in the back of my head. Look, it's like just cutting it off. That's so strange. Yeah, so it makes my hair look shorter than it actually is. Well, that's not right. That's okay. That's pretty minor. Add more block options? Yeah, there will be tons. There will be tons and tons of block options. I have lots and lots of plans for what we'll do for that. So what I want to do first for this level here is I'm going to go into height 3 mode, and I'm going to place down a big border. And I'm already noticing that one feature that I need to include is putting it's hard to even see. Actually, I'm not even going to mention it on stream because you can't see it on the stream. I was going to mention that if you see the edge of it, look how it's like putting a black border against the edge of the screen. That's not actually what I want. I want it to extend past the border, but that's kind of a separate issue. Making a combo-based Metroidvania in Godot. Awesome, that's cool. I love Metroidvania. Excuse me, I love Metroidvanias. I've played so many of them. I also probably should show some of the player movement stuff that I changed, because I changed a lot of stuff, not just this level editing stuff. And another thing is that I'm noticing this is kind of tedious, you know, putting down one block at a time. These auto green screen features would be nice if they could adjust the depth registers, as surely we have the technology for it. I bet that it's going to get better over time, but I'm with you. And I can adjust the threshold here. Whoop. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to shut off the camera. What I meant to do was show how I can change the threshold, so I could like tone it down like this. Oh, there, you can see my background for a moment. Whoa. So like that does make it more solid, but then you can see my background, right? That kind of screws it up. And like this might be this might not be enough of a threshold, right? Because now I'm like blurry on the edges. Yeah, I'm gonna fix that again. That's kind of the point of all these streams, is I'm just trying to figure out the right balances for all this stuff. That's probably good. When you put, sorry, I'm reading some of the older chat. There's a problem regarding the shadow. There's a lot of problems regarding the shadows, I'm being honest. Making a game like the library sorting game, but with files in an office, because my girlfriend really likes monotonous games. Awesome, that's cool. Good practice for game design. Nice, that's a good idea. In general, I like your idea of putting in, or like making game ideas that are simple, and something like a sorting game or something like that. It's pretty good. And yeah, Wolf, I agree with that removal. Made it today. Thank you for being here, WolfX. Multiplayer. That is the plan. And am I able to show that right now? I might be able to. Oh no, I got rid of my debug menu. Oh no, I got rid of my debug menu. Here, I think I can actually just fix this. What if I'll ask this AI to do it. Add a test input that opens the debug UI. I did just remove that before stream, and I forgot to add it back. So we'll let that come back. After that comes back, then I'll show it off. Oh, the other thing I need to show is that like there are so many weird tile issues. Like look at this one. When I add a gap here, look at all this. This is all screwed up. I don't know what it's even thinking. It's very confused. So there's still a lot of work to do. Bro, do I make games? I do make games, unless you're talking to someone else. Let's see. In the same way that I have the height set up, where I have the height of 3, it'd be nice if I could make a grid where I could like be sitting down 3 by 3 blocks. It would be like Pocopia, honestly. Have I mentioned that I like Pocopia? I might have mentioned that before. Edges of the shadows? Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, let's demonstrate that. So if I make a line like this, take a look at the shadows around the block, and then if I do this, check out where the corner overlaps. It's hard to see. It's small. Am I able to Windows zoom in on this? Yeah, look at that. So where the shadows overlap, you can see that one of the pixels gets extra dark because it's overlapping the shadows. Also, look at this. It's having like an empty green space in here. What I really should, well, this whole thing is kind of messed up actually. Now that I take a closer look at it. Let's change this back to height 1 and test it on a. Oh, look how big he is. This is the Windows magnifier, by the way. If you press Windows key plus, it'll open up this screen, and that's how I like zoom into the pixels. And actually, it's zooming in really cleanly right now. Normally it blurs it, but it's zooming in really nice. Look how weird the shovel looks when it's angled like this. Oh, here, I'll move the magnifier over here so you can see it better. When you zoom in my pixel art really far, you can see the individual pixels that draw whenever a pixel shovel gets rotated. It has to create new pixel art that kind of matches the tone. It's kind of strange. Windows has a zoom feature. Yeah, I started using the zoom feature a lot because so many Windows like stuff is just tiny. So this is helpful for zooming in. We can see the player's face. You can see him blink. Being able to see the pixels like this, I swear they must have updated the Windows magnifier because I don't remember showing it, being able to see the pixels on this level of detail before. That's really nice. updated vision for Moonshire. I know all these systems are kind of conflicting at this point. A new challenge chat theme. At the moment, I am testing out different things, but the vision for Moonshire hasn't changed that much. It's still meant to be like a Zelda-like game. The reason I'm adding this level design stuff is because it makes the process easier for me to make levels, but then it makes it easier for mods to make levels. And I'll go ahead and show this again. I always show tiled. So the way I would make my levels before through tiled was perfectly fine and acceptable. Uh-oh. I can't find... Oh, I deleted those maps. I forgot. But this is like a really old map. The way it would work before is you would like go down here to the corner and you would pick out a tile and then you would just like draw the tile into the map and you just manually place all the tiles. And that is fine. In fact, I encourage most people to design their games like this, where you have a tile set and you're just like placing down the tiles one by one. Yeah, the Legend of Lua, exactly. That's what this is. Yeah, all this stuff is missing now because I deleted it. The thing is, this system is really easy to get up and going because you just need to import the tile set and then you can start placing tiles down and drawing your level. Is that free? It is free, and I don't know if it's open source, but it's on itch.io. It's a pay what you want, pay what you're able to. And we got a donation. Sorry, it's not showing your whole name. Zachary Saylor, thank you so much for the donation. Thanks for the hard work and edification of us all. Thank you. That's really kind of you. I really appreciate the donation. That's so kind. So what I was going on about with this level design stuff is this tile set system works good, but when it comes to designing my big levels, or I should say just putting together the levels, it was getting kind of annoying manually placing down all these tiles, when now it's set up in a way where the level structure is on a data level. I'll show that too, where if I go, oh, it finished. So if I press the N key, it'll open up the debug UI. And what was I going to show? I was going to show something dumb. It's probably not important. Isn't that always what happens, is that I go to do something and then I read chat and I forget what I was doing? Tile is open source. Didn't expect a donation so early. I'm very happy to see it. That's so kind. I really appreciate the support from the community. I tried demo on Mac. Oh, there's so many things not in the Steam demo, but... Well, and that's the thing, is that I'm really working hard to get to a point where I can re-release the Steam demo that has all of this stuff in place. Because what I want to do is I want to let people test out the jumping and test out the level design stuff and make sure all that stuff works. But it's taken me a long time to get to the point where that's working. Wow, look at this bug. This is just straight up broken. Love my content? Thank you so much. Like to test the jumping animations? I would like that too. The thing is, I've been tweaking the game controls still a lot. And I might show this too, is I added a dash. Well, I think I had the dash last week, but I changed a bit how that worked. And this is another thing that is kind of cool with my mob system. If I go over to Hero, I have it, I made it super granular, where we can turn on and off all these different features. So I think I can just turn jump off, and then now if I go into the game, yeah, I just can't jump anymore. So the whole idea behind this is that every mob in the game is built off of the same object type, but only the features that are needed are enabled. So let's see, what else can I do? I'm trying to find one of these features that I can like actually demonstrate. How about crouch lock? Crouch lock's a good one. So right now I have it set up where if I... Oh man, I closed the game and now I lost all of my I lost all of the progress that I made. That's dumb. I'm mad at myself for doing that. The Moonshire will release on 2027. I think that it will, but you know, that's been changing a lot. Does your level editor support moving platforms? Not at the moment, they don't. But it is something I'd like to have. Okay, so the feature I just turned on was crouch lock. So crouch lock means that the player is going to crouch to a... Give me 1 second. I'm going to switch over to a different map so we can actually see it. We're going to go to load. Want to make game? You're studying and want to make pixel art. The trick to getting started is just to start making things. You said that you want to get started with pixel art? Go ahead and start. to just make pixel art and get good at it. But the thing is, you're not going to be able to make a big, fleshed out, big game like mine in a year. I've been making games for a long time, and it takes a lot of practice and work to get up to this point. So my advice for you is to start small. Start with just making sprites. Start with practicing your pixel art. It's not easy. It's very hard. And your sprites are going to look bad at first, but it's going to get better over time. Adding NPCs. At the moment, I actually don't have NPCs, but I haven't actually finished showing all the things that I added to the level editor. So I'm going to go over to load, and we're going to load a different map because the beauty map is empty. We're going to load variety. That's the one that I always like to show because it has just a bunch of maps or a bunch of floating platforms. Okay, so this one's good because it has all of the new weather stuff that I added. It has a bunch of the platforms. So in the Steam demo, I think the fog is in the game, but now I've added it so you can have multiple layers of it. It's kind of hard to tell, but there's 2 layers of fog now, and I'm able to adjust how opaque each one is. The other thing is that the rain has parallax added to it as well, where as you move, the rain particles are going to shift around based on the position of the camera. They used to make sprites on graph paper. That is nuts, isn't it? I'm with you. That is wild that they used to do it that way, because you would have to program in the pixels. That is brutal. Need to be on my team? No. The only people that work on my team it's just me. But like I said, if you're interested in game development, just make a game. And when I say make a game, make a very simple, small game. And you'll be surprised at how tricky it is, even for a small, simple game. Any tips for making a devlog? Same advice for that. The advice really for devlogs is that when you spend time working on a devlog, that is time that you are not spending working on your game. So you just got to be careful that you're not spending too much time working on videos, or you go into it with the mindset of, I am making videos to improve my skills. Because if you go back to my first videos, like on Game Maker Crab, they're crappy, they're really bad. Or even my first videos on this channel, they're not very good by comparison. And work check, please calm down. You're typing a lot of weird stuff. Do you accept donations anywhere else? At the moment, no. I just do it through YouTube and Twitch and stuff. I love the fact that fog is a shader. No, it's actually, well, I think that it's not a shader. It's literally a big texture that covers the screen, and then it wraps around on itself as it moves across the screen. And then each layer has its own parallax like effect to it, where it's moving at different rates. And that's what gives it that, like, oh, look at that bug. Whoa, look at this bug. Whoa, look at that. That's so weird. That's so weird. Do you see that? Oh, you can see it here too. Whoa, what's going on here? Did I watch the devlog? I didn't watch. I saw the devlog and I clicked on it, but I didn't watch the whole thing. But I saw it, and I'm glad that you were able to post it. That's great. What game are you trying to create exactly? I'm not trying to create any specific game, but I'm trying to make my own, just whatever I want to make, I guess. I've been working on this game for so long that it has evolved and changed. And like someone else mentioned earlier, is that the direction is gone, has changed a lot. Twitch, whoops, 1 second, I accidentally clicked on the wrong thing. Twitch sucks if someone isn't getting a bigger reach. Yeah, I understand. Twitch is rough, but I should say it's rough at first, but over time it grows. And the thing is, I'm fine with Twitch growing over time. And also, I'm mainly doing it to like test out the multi-streaming thing. For anyone who doesn't know, the chat system above my head is all custom code that I made myself, and it's capturing the chat from both Twitch and YouTube and combining them into one place, which I think is really cool. But I need more testing with that, and that's kind of like part of what these streams are meant to accomplish. Is I'm streaming and having fun, but also I'm making sure that my software works. 5 versus 52 people. I mean, that is just the way it goes. You can help me build your dream game. No, if you want to build your dream game work, you need to make it yourself. You can't have someone else make it. This goal of like recruiting someone to make your game for you, not a good plan. My advice for you, work check, because you're typing a lot, and thank you all for timing them out, because that is just, you can't be that desperate. The way that you make games is you do it slowly. You start by making a very, very simple game. And when I say simple, I mean like dead simple. I'm gonna pull up one of my first games. If you go to Chalacade, .com. And we're gonna go over to games. We'll go down to Comet 2024. This isn't one of my first. This isn't even one of my first games, but it is one of them. This is the type of game. Oh, I got a donation. These streams are highlighted for my Mondays. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Sorry, it's not showing your full name. That's so annoying. 1 second. I'm sorry about that. Buffalo Jake, thank you so much. I'm sorry that it didn't like for some reason YouTube chat is like hiding the names from me. That's so obnoxious. Thank you so much, Buffalo Jake. Thank you. Chow chat broke. Oh. What happened? Why did that happen? Well, yeah, look, the chat stopped capturing. Didn't mean to break it. No, you didn't break it. What happened? Did anyone notice the exact moment that it stopped? Because the reason I missed Buffalo Jake's donation is because the alert didn't happen. And the alert didn't happen because none of the YouTube messages are showing up. Is Twitch still working? Twitch looks like it's still working. I can see Baron's messages. What happened? What was the last one that showed? It stopped right after the timeout. I wonder if that caused some kind of problem. That's weird. Okay, well I'm gonna disconnect it and reconnect it. Give me 1 second. This is a good discovery. This is part of the reason why I do these streams, so we can like happen when you typed. Okay, it's back. I can see Buffalo Jake's donation now. When it crashes, do you have a crash log? Yes, but it didn't crash. It didn't crash. The program's still running, and the connection to YouTube was still active. It didn't print any bug, though. Wolf, we'll test that again in the future, where the next time we need to time someone out, we're going to check and see if that causes any problems. But thank you for pointing that out. We were able to catch a bug, and that's kind of a big one. Because I would have expected, because this is how it works. This is the app. This is ChalaChat. I could ban someone for 10 seconds. Sure. Yeah, go for it. Hey, who wants to take the fall? Who wants to be timed out for 10 seconds? Because we're testing to see if timing out someone causes the chat system to break. Yeah, timeout Butterfly or Rethanon. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so now keep typing your messages to see if it. Okay, it's still working. It looks like it didn't break it that time. It's not that. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it was. It was around that time though. Shattered King, hi, welcome in. I think it was a fluke, weird coincidence. It must have been a weird coincidence. I wonder if I did something. But this is the weird part. If the connection got broke, if something bad happened, it would show up here. You can see that. You can see my Twitch connection, and you can see the YouTube connection. And neither of these had any problems. The connection was still active and it was still counting up. So I don't know why YouTube suddenly stopped. That was weird. Oh well. We'll keep an eye out for that. Maybe it's something with YouTube. But thank you, Rethanon, for taking the fall, the 10 second fall. Anyway, I was talking about making a simple game. Because I would say by far the number one issue that people run into with their games is that they start off with something that's just too hard. They start off with something too hard. They try to make like a platformer. They try to make a third-person like horror. I hear a lot of people talking about horror games, and they're like, "I just want to make a simple horror game for my first game." It's like no. I think that your first game should be something like this. I think that this is an acceptable level of difficulty for your first game. And if you think, "Oh well, this is lame. I don't want to make a game like this," then that's the point. Is I didn't want to make a game like this either. But when you make a game like this, you learn a lot of stuff because you're learning movement, you're keeping score, you're handling collisions, you're spawning things into the scene, you're rendering graphics, you have the big background that's rotating. And then you have the pathing, you have the movement, you have the angles, you have the trail effect that I added. So all of these things that we see on screen here, these are things that I use in my game today. And that's not even an exaggeration. Literally everything that I just listed off are things that I use in Moonshire right now. And I didn't learn them by making Moonshire. That would have been too hard. I learned them by making games like this, and that helps you understand the fundamentals. It's not a good strategy to aim for some crazy complex game and then just hope that someone else will make it for you or fill in the gaps for you. It really doesn't work like that. It just takes a lot of time and effort to get good enough to be... No! 50 is pretty good. I don't know if I've ever beaten 50 before. The secret to success is making a fully functional MMO with hundreds of hours of content. Oh yeah, that's actually it. Everyone should make a dragon-based science MMO. Me too, I have old learning projects and prototypes to learn game development with. That makes sense. Your last best was 50 flat. Oh, really? Wow, nice, new record. Yeah, because if you don't know it, this game is like purely RNG. It's so BS. After like score 20, then the comments start coming in too fast and too randomly that you can't actually catch up to them unless you're lucky. So that game kind of sucks. And really, when you look at these games, each one gets a little bit better than the last. I think that this game is pretty decent too. And what made this game so challenging is that this was like a mobile game, and making stuff on mobile is just naturally really difficult. But like, look, you can see the trail effect. I didn't even notice that. Look, the ball of light looks like the comet from Comet. It looks the same. That's so funny that I didn't even realize that I did that. It's just a weird coincidence. Did I make it mobile friendly as well? No, it was this game here was originally posted on the Google Play Store. And it was on, when did I post it? Probably in 2015. I probably posted, yeah, it was in 2015. So I posted this game in 2015 on the Google Play Store, and it was on the Google Play Store for probably a couple years. What the heck's going on? Oh, I wasn't fast enough. It was on the Google Play Store for a couple years, and then it got removed because when you have games on mobile, there's a lot of upkeep that you need to do, a lot of maintenance. You have to keep rebuilding it and posting these security updates. Otherwise, they just take your app down. So I stopped supporting the game, and so the app got taken down. I like the gradient. Which gradient? Like, I think that a lot of these are from Inkscape. In fact, I think every sprite in this game is just a vector from Inkscape. I'm pretty sure about that. The buttons maybe are from Microsoft Office. Like, do these buttons look like they're from PowerPoint? It's very possible that these buttons are just PowerPoint buttons, and then I took like a screenshot and made it into a sprite. So that's kind of what these remind me for. The Google Play Store isn't free, right? We're getting back to work on your game. See, thank you for stopping in, Shadow King. Google Play Store isn't free. The way that you post games to these different platforms, it's different per platform. But like you said, it costs money. So if you want to post your game on iOS, on Apple, that's the notoriously expensive one. Because one, you need a Mac to do it. But then two, you need to pay for an Apple developer subscription. And the Apple developer subscription costs $100 per year. So in order just to have the luxury of your app being on the App Store, it costs you $100 per year to just exist. Just to exist. And the point of that is security, is that like when you have a $100 paywall, it prices out a lot of ne'er-do-wells, I think, is a big concern. That's very expensive. It is. It is. It's a very big blocker for, I would say, most people. Google Play Store is a bit more approachable. Google Play Store is a one-time fee of $25 US. And that fee might adjust. Maybe it's gone up. But as far as I know, it's still $25. Because I actually paid for a second one a couple years ago, and it was still $25. So $25 one time is a lot easier to pull off compared to $100 every single year. But even if you do get your game on the Google Play Store, for example, it doesn't stay there. You have to maintain it. And that's why this game doesn't exist on the Google Play Store anymore. And I just converted it into like a web game. So now you can play the game in web, and it's not on mobile at all. Because having these games available on mobile is just so difficult. So those were my first 2 games. And by the way, I made other games before this. These are just my first game. This is my first Love 2D game, is Tropical Spirit. And then Comet was made with Phaser, actually. It was made with JavaScript. And then before this, I was making my Game Maker games, and I have a whole bunch of those. I can show them. I'm going to show them. I'm going to show them. I'm going to show my old Game Maker games, because I have some really good ones. Oh, this is going to be awesome. I'm so excited for you guys. I've been wanting to do this, and I haven't really had the right... Oh, this is so cool. So, here we have my old Game Maker games. The dates are not accurate. It says 2021. That's not accurate. That's just when I moved it over to this hard drive. So, these EXEs are full Game Maker games that I made when I was a kid. And I think the first one I want to show is Destination, because here I have this game called Destination 44, and this game, I never really released it, and you can play it, but the big problem with this game is that it's too long and too boring. There's 44 floors of like combat and doing stuff, but it's all very mid is the big problem. So this game here, though, is based off of an older game that I made when I was a younger kid, an older Game Maker game that I made, and I like remade it. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this, and I want to show. I have this other game, Destination 31. I don't think I've ever showed this before. Destination 31, because no one would really care. But now that Destination 44 is like online, now it makes sense kind of for me to show this. Do I have a file? I don't have a file. This is from 2002. It says Play Adrift. Play Adrift was my like screen name to Play Adrift 2012 presents. I took this very seriously. So in 2012, how old would I have been? 14? Games for animation sheets. Games for animation sheets. Or do you mean making animation sheets for games? Because yeah, I'm with you. That is challenging. That's also just a matter of skill and getting good at it over time. So I love this game just because it looks so similar to the modern one. The scrolling is actually impressive for 14. There's a lot of things about this game that I think are impressive, but it is still a game made by a 14-year-old. Also, there's no sounds and there's no music. But like when you watch me play through these levels, I think you can notice the same problem that I'm noticing, which is that it's very empty and boring and nothing is happening. And the way that I was thinking when I was making this at the time is that, oh, there needs to be some build-up. There needs to be some build-up. You can't just have like a whole bunch of action right at the start. But I disagree. It's just so boring. It's just walking around. You move so slowly. I can't go that way because there's water. Of Little Devil? Oh, Little Devil, that sounds really familiar. I've also made a game like 6 years ago in Roblox Studio and it was pretty bad. Hey, that's the thing, is that when you make a bad game, your next game is less bad. That's why I always encourage people, like, don't aim for making your dream game right off the bat, because you have to remember that your first game is going to be pretty bad. Just pretend like your first game is going to be bad, so you might as well choose a short, small, simple game and make that your first game, because then you're not wasting very much time. But making this game and Destination 44, it taught me a lot about not wasting time with the game. Come on. Okay, so we have to equip that, I think. So let me press Z to equip. So now I can shoot water balls. Don't aim for a masterpiece, aim for a very odd, crappy game. I think that's fantastic advice. I think the big thing that I was thinking at the time is I played all these Metroidvanias when I was a kid and even into adulthood. I think you can. Oh, you can't swim. Oh no, no! You can't swim yet. Oh, I don't want to play that again. Okay, that sucks. But let's play Embers of Life. That's way more fun. So Embers of Life is my Zelda fan game, and I've made YouTube videos about it. And not only that, but I found a way to run them in a way that's like not terrible. So I'm gonna do that real quick. So I can take Embers of Life, and I can bring this up to this, and then I can run it. Actually, I'm gonna also bring the save file because I have a save file for it. Yeah, EOL save. So I have my Zelda fan game and my Pokemon fan game. I'm so excited for that. Rain. It's actually called Rain. It's kind of a dumb name. So let's do other full screen. Oh, it's the wrong full screen. Oh no. How do I get it to do full screen on this screen? When I do full screen, it goes to the wrong screen. I don't know how to fix that. Oh, that's a bummer, and I can't resize it. What do I do about that? Ah, shoot. I really want to make it bigger because it's so small. Oh, it has music. Here, I'm going to, I'm gonna stop the music. It's literally just like stolen music from the Game Boy games. Change your resolution, can't. Oh, change my not during stream. I can't do that. I can't do that during stream. So this game was made, oh, this was before Destination. So I think that this came out in 2011. Came out. I think that I made this in 2011. But I posted videos of this. Try F11 or Alt-Enter. Alt-Enter. Now, Enter is save. F11. Now, F1 is instructions. YouTube.com/playdrift. I'd never had that. I never had that URL. What happens when I go here? That's not mine. Did I make this? That's insane. That's so weird. I love that. Anyway, note, make sure you are constantly saving. If you die without saving first, your progress will return to that last spot. Okay. Credits. Okay. Well, this is very nice. More Chalcade lore drop? I mean, kind of. The reason why I didn't stick with Playadrift is because playadrift.com was taken. What the heck? Why is this already open? Maybe I already was here or something. What is this? This is a Zelda fan game I made when I was a kid. Oh, I was already in this dungeon. Yeah, because I have the jump. Okay, we're gonna go through this dungeon and then we'll be done because this game sucks. It's like really bad. The big thing that it's hard to really even explain, but the controls are really, really bad. Where you can't press two directions at once. So when you see my character walking around, you can only walk in the primary directions and you have to let go of your direction before you press another one. Otherwise it gets confused. It's really bad. Does the player in the Zelda fan game jump? It's a fake jump. You see, like you can auto jump over these gaps like this. And this is a cheat. I actually stole this from another Zelda fan game called Zelda Trapped in the Dark World. So there's a Zelda fan game called Zelda Trapped in the Dark World where you get the Roc's Feather and you jump over gaps like this, and I literally just took the idea. F4 for full screen? Yeah, nothing's happening. I think the main way that I could make it work is if I change my primary monitor to the left one. I'll try that, but there's very real possibility that it's going to screw up the stream. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, okay? I'm going to save. I'm going to close this. Okay, I guess I can't close it. Then I'm going to set this as my main display. Okay, the stream still seems fine. The stream still seems fine. How old is that? I think it's from 2010, actually. I said 2011, but that's not right. Okay, good. It's actually showing the loading screen. Other. Full screen. There we go. Oh, yes! Now we're gaming. Now we're gaming. All right. God, I cannot express how bad the controls are. So imagine you're playing a game, but in order to change directions, you need to stop and then change to a different direction. Where's the music from? This is from, I think it's from Link's Awakening. It's the dungeon from, it's just one of the dungeon themes. We'll smack him. I'm so excited to be playing this. I've never played this game on stream before. Do I have an item? I have bombs. And I can go over and equip the boomerang. And I'll kill these guys. Man, this is just painful to look at. I got the boss key. All right, now we're cooking with gas. The walls are glitching, yeah. And this thing I'm running it through, you can see it under my body. Oh, actually you can't. It's a watermark, but you can't see it on OBS. That's weird. There's a watermark in the corner. I'm running this through this, like, how do I even explain this? I'm running it through a weird Game Maker support emulator that makes the graphics a little bit better. But these blue lines that you see are horrible. They're in all my Game Maker games. Is this a ROM hack? No. This is actually a Game Maker game. This was made with Game Maker, which is still around today. It's still around today. Oh, I'm just realizing this is a bombable wall. There we go. That seems obvious now. Wow, what a puzzle. Was that really the puzzle? Walk up here, press the button, and then there's a bridge? I really struck gold on that one. And you hit this? I don't know what that did. Game Maker is now Game Maker 2. Game Maker, I think it's just Game Maker now. I think they changed it. Because it was Game Maker, and then it was like Game Maker 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then after Game Maker 8, it became Game Maker Studio. Then it became Game Maker Studio 2. And then it became... What is going on over there? Why is there a skeleton in the void? Who told him to go out there? Okay, well, I guess he's not hurting anyone. Do I use Lua for my games? Yes. This one here, though, is a Game Maker game, so it was not. I think I remember... I don't remember the boss. Oh! That's so loud. So loud. God. So loud. God, it's so loud. This is coded in GML. Technically, yes, but I just used the drag and drop system. Oh! And by the way, if you didn't know, there are videos of this game on YouTube from 2010. So I did make this in 2010. Hey! Okay, let's bring that back up. Did I make all the sprites for that game? No. For this game, no. These are all stolen sprites from Nintendo. I don't like to use drag and drop because it always holds me back. I understand that. When I was a kid, it was perfect. I loved it. Oh, look how bad the blue lines are. Oh, that's horrible. That's so bad. Here, I have another idea for something that we can try to fix that. I have this other emulator that we can probably run it through. Here, I need to find it. Give me one moment. It might be kind of hard for me to figure this out. But there's this emulator where I don't think I'll be able to. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to. I'm just going to run it through the normal thing. I actually think I'm going to move on to another game because I wanted to show the Pokemon fan game, which I'm really happy with. That one's really good. So let me pull that up. Okay, and then under Play Drift, we have the Pokemon Eclipse, and actually we'll have it here, and then we can just run this. Loading takes about a minute. Be patient. I think it takes less time now that we are in the future. I think that now we are in the future. We are in the distant year of 2026. It doesn't take a full minute. Isn't there already a Pokemon Eclipse fan game? Maybe. I wouldn't say that Pokemon Eclipse is the most original title for a game. That actually did take a while for that to load. I don't think it's working. The screen's black. Oh no! No, it's not working. Oh, it did work. It did work. This is not a hack. Oh, look how bad the grid system is. Look how gritty it is. We about to hit that gritty. File 1. Do I have any files? I think I do actually have a file. Eclipse save, yeah. I think I can just do load. There we are. Okay, and now we're in the middle of the game. Dude, look how bad the grid is. It is so bad. Options, full screen. Oh no. Dude, look how bad that grid is. It is so bad. But also, this game has no sounds. What Pokemon do I have? I got an Eevee. I got Sandshrew. And I got Pikachu. Can you tell that I drew all of this UI? Can you tell that, like, this is all custom made? Can you tell that this was made by a 14, 15-year-old? I sure can. Kyle. Yeah. That's epic. Dude, this is so awesome. Town map. Bro. This was drawn by a child. I love that. I was stuck in the menu. I couldn't close out of the town map. I got stuck. That character I did draw, but I'm pretty sure that I just edited. Would I consider touching GameMaker again? I would totally consider doing GameMaker again. I think all of the sprites in the game, if there's any custom ones, they're like custom made by me. Like I custom edited some. I want to get into a battle and show you all I've made like battle animations. It's so good. I put a lot of work into this Pokemon fan game, and like it says in this startup thing, it says this is not a hack. This is not a ROM hack. This is a completely recreated Pokemon game that I made myself when I was like 15, and it does work. I like it's actually impressive. Oh, I got into a battle. Okay. I should have made it full screen first. We found Machop. Oh man, look how bad this is. In my game, you can choose whichever one you want to send out as soon as the battle starts. So like, I'll send out Pikachu. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna run because I want to make it full screen so you guys can see it. It's too small. Make it full screen. I can turn sound and music on, but there's no sounds or music. Actually, there's the Pokemon cries, but that's it. And then I think that you can see their IVs and EVs. Except, I screwed it up. I remember this too. So if you're familiar with Pokemon, all Pokemon have IVs and EVs. The IVs are what they're born with, and the EVs are what they collect over time through battles. And I didn't understand the system properly when I made this game. And all of the IVs only go from 0 to 16. It doesn't actually go to the full 31, I think, that you're supposed to go to. And I got confused because I think in the original games it only went to 16. So that's why it's like that. By the way, I'm going to turn the music back on because there's no music in this game. Uh-oh. How do I have to turn full screen off because my, oh my gosh, sorry, 1 second. Okay, there we go. Here, let's get a Pokemon song like that. I must have already fought this trainer. I don't remember anything about this, by the way. We're playing this game blind. Eevee has Dig, so Eevee's like overpowered. Oh, is it not it's not actually, it's not getting the metadata on it for some reason. I don't know why. You choose your Pokemon when starting a battle, yes. And I did that not because I thought it was a good idea. I do think it's a good idea. I like that. But I did that because I couldn't figure it out how to do it automatically. That's literally what happened. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I need to go this way. I'm going to turn on the repel because I saw that I have a repel. No wild Pokemon for 30 seconds. So I couldn't figure out how to do steps either. So it's not a certain number of steps. It's just for 30 seconds, apparently. Still looks better than Scarlet and Violet. A little bit. Yeah, the grid looks horrible, though. I wish there was music, though. No offense, but it's so dark in here, I can't tell if you're a girl or a boy. Wow, that's rude. I can't believe I wrote that. Cool trainer Steven wants to battle. This is so awesome. Look at this character. You might even recognize that sprite. That's from the game. We'll do Pikachu. And we'll do Thundershock. Look at all the like battle effects I made. Yeah! Androgynous Kyle a little bit. I think oh no! Why is he smoking me so bad? He's gonna kill me. Dude. Oh no! Well, Pikachu's gone. At least we're not playing Nuzlocke. I'll let Sandshrew, maybe Sandshrew will be able to finish him off because he's faster. And Dig is a one-turn move in this game for some reason. Oh, I know, because I couldn't figure it out. Yes! Sandshrew's gonna get all the XP. Yeah! Can Pikachu learn Dig? Yeah, I think so. I should teach it to him. Cut. I am just so charmed by all of these. Here's something weird. All of these buttons, it's not displaying text over top of these. These are all images. I didn't know how to display text, so I made a separate scratch button. There's a separate stand attack button. So these are just all different sprites for the different buttons. It's so weird. It's so goofy. But I like it. It's fun. At least you made it today. We're just playing some of my old games. And then I need to show some of the new level design stuff Oh, I got a crit. Nice. I've been wanting to show off this game for so long. It's so good. Do I make EXP share when you defeat enemy with using different Pokemon? No, I couldn't figure that out. He's learning Poison Sting. I guess I'll get rid of Scratch. The music's quiet. I'll turn it up a bit. It is a little bit. We'll dig again. I gotta be careful. I think that if they die, there's not a way for me to revive them right now. Oh, God. Oh, no. That sucks. Now I'm stuck with Eevee. All my other Pokemon are dead. Let's do Dig. Why is Sandshrew learning Poison Sting? I don't know. I do kind of know. So I tried to base the moves, the learn sets, based off of the real ones, but this game doesn't have every move. This game probably has half of the moves. So if I had to guess, Sandshrew was normally going to learn a move that's just not in the game, if I had to guess. If using a pixel font, it's not that cursed. It's okay. The Pokemon game with permadeath we all wanted. How do I click on that? I found Aerial Ace. That's a good move. What TMs do I have? I got Aerial Ace, Metal Claw, Flail, and Dig. And Cut. Aerial Ace. Who can learn Aerial Ace? No. No one can learn Aerial Ace right now. But can Pikachu learn Dig? Oh, Pikachu already knows Learn. Or already knows Dig. What is this? This is a Pokemon fan game I made when I was a kid. And so now I'm just, like, showing it off. Do I love 2D? Oh, maybe I just saw your message. Do you love 2D? That Zubat's pretty good. Maybe I could catch it. Jump. I love the battle effects. Oh, I am gonna catch it because I want to show the There's a ball catching animation that I made that I'm so proud of when I was a kid. I only have one Pokeball. Better make it count. Yeah! Come on. No! We didn't get the Zubat. Did I hand draw the sprites? No, these are all the sprites from Gold, Silver, and Crystal. The animations are... So you can probably tell that the animation sprites are based off of the original game. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. Also, did you notice that Confusion, like, barely functioned? It just got so weird. This game is buggy. That's why it's behaving this way. Okay, I need to be careful. Do I have healing? I have a super potion. I'll use it on Eevee. Did you see that? It said that my HP was 60 something, and now it's 37. So weird. This game is so... It looks like it skips Zubat's turn. Yeah, that's how Confusion works in this game. So, pretty much whenever I made a decision to change something, it's because I couldn't figure out how to do it the real way. And that's literally all there is to it. So, because it skipped Zubat's turn, because I couldn't figure out how to make it so that when you hurt yourself in Confusion, then the opponent can go after you. I just couldn't figure it out. Spider's Resource? Yeah, I definitely got it from Spider's Resource. This is gonna take a while. I really want to get through this dungeon and get outside. Oh no. I found someone. I've been stuck in here for 2 days! If I beat you, then you have to show me how to get out of here. Okay. He's been stuck in here for 2 days? That's scary. Hiker James. I really wish that my Pokemon weren't dead. Did I make original gym leaders in Elite Four too? Yes, this is a full, complete... It is a full game. It is a full game. And I tried to get it working in a web format so that we could play it on the website, but one, I don't think I should distribute this. You can't really distribute fan games. And then two, this is so archaic, I can barely get it to run on my computer, so I can't get it to run into a browser either. Let's do Bite. I like that animation, that's not bad. Okay, this battle is going better. And actually, I remember a noteworthy thing happening soon. In this dungeon, actually. This is a good thing to have on stream. I'll probably play for like 10 more minutes and then we'll go back to working on the game. Because I really want to work on level design stuff. And I need to at least show off the decorations. Because that's the name of the... That's the name of the stream. Is Poke Rogue not a fan game? Probably is. I'm not familiar with that one specifically. Takedown. Do I want to learn Takedown? I guess. Takedown's probably better than Metal Claw. I got money. Let's save. saved file 1. Oh. This is a main character. Sigh, I knew this cave wasn't the best place to stay. My name is Sky. At the moment, I'm busy researching something very secret. Nobody can know about it yet. Do you know Professor Hale? He's a nice guy. That's why I had to leave. He would never go along with what I have planned. As for you, I need you to not tell anyone you saw me here. If you keep quiet, I'll give you one of these. What are we going for? Which one should we go for? Do we go for the Firestone, Thunderstone, or Waterstone? The text is handled in such a weird way. It is. The reason why it's handled in such a weird way is because all of these buttons, I literally like put sprites, like these are just sprites. It's so bad. It's just so bad. Wolf says Vaporeon. Any others? Kemi says Thunder. Baron says Thunder. I think I'm gonna go with the Waterstone. Just keep quiet, nobody has to know. All right, you found a Waterstone. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's get out of here. I think that this is the end of the dungeon. And then I'm gonna evolve Eevee. Oh, yes, Route 3. Yes, we're out. The grid doesn't look nearly as bad out here. It still looks bad. Okay, Route 3 is just like a bunch of grass. There's nothing really here. We're in Karina City. This is nice. Okay. I just love the rain. The sound of it is just so soothing. That's why I want you to have this. I got Rain Dance. That's cool. I just love the sunshine. So warm. It makes me feel great. That's why I want you to have this. It's Sunny Day. You agree with me, don't you? My sister sure doesn't. That's funny. I like that. Zenith. I don't remember what Zenith is. I think that there was a town called that. Let's go into the Pokemon Center. Welcome to the Pokemon Center. Yes. That actually looks good. That looks just like the games. Honestly, this is pretty true to the games. That was pretty good. There's a gym. And Zenith is the name of Sunny Day in French. Oh, really? I didn't know that. What the? Do you see this? That's literally broken. This door down here is just linking to the wrong house. What a joke. That's so weird. Let's buy some stuff. I would like to buy. I got 540 or 5,400. I'll buy one super potion, one potion. I buy a bunch of Pokeballs and one repel. Okay. I definitely need to catch something because my team sucks. Do you have the island ticket? No. I have to beat the gym leader and then I get the island ticket. Would you flinch if I jabbed you in the sides? I guess not. Well, I guess you deserve this. I got poison jab. Man, I really was not very creative with how I put these TMs around. Who can learn this? Sandshrew. That's perfect. If the tiles were normal, it would totally still work. I think you're right. And I don't know why some tiles are like that. Like this screen, look. It's just these tiles over here that have this problem. We gotta evolve Eevee. Yes, we do. Thank you for the reminder. Let's go to bag. Waterstone. Onto Eevee. Yeah! So cool. Evolved into Vaporeon. And it learns Water Gun right away. That's a cool feature. I think I'm gonna get rid of Takedown. That was good. I was expecting terrible animation. I was too. I don't remember it being that good looking. Let's take a look at Vaporeon. Look, so much more HP. Eevee's was like 37 before, so the HP is so much better now. And we can see the IVs. In this game, IVs only go up to 16, so these are actually really good IVs. There's no way to see attack information. Must be so bad because of everything being a PNG. It is. It is horrible. It is very, very bad. Every single one of these buttons, even these, all of these are buttons, just like sprites. It's so bad. These ones might not be. No, I think they are actually. I think these are still sprites. I just didn't know how to make games back then. Was Eevee full HP? It might have gotten healed. Here's the other thing. Notice in the screen how it doesn't say what the HP of Sandshrew or Pikachu is. I couldn't figure it out when I was a kid. For anyone who's just joining, I made this game when I was 15, I think. So I was young. And I couldn't figure out how to display the actual HP of the Pokemon on this screen until you clicked into it. Because when you click into the Pikachu, it runs all the calculations for what its HP should be. And then now it says 26. So the star means it's at full HP. And then when I click on it, then now it knows what its HP actually is. So goofy. Higher with the effort. Well, thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of work. What do you do if you don't use sprites for the menu? What I mean is you do still use sprites, but what I'm saying is that, like, in this screen here, you wouldn't have a sprite specifically for dig. Like, you wouldn't have dig.png, watergun.png, quickattack.png, and bite.png. Instead, what you would have is button.png, and it's the same PNG for all four of these buttons. And then, in the code, it's just going to display the text over top of it without having a separate sprite for each button. But when I made this game, I was a young kid. I didn't know about that. I didn't know how to optimize this properly. So I just made a separate sprite for every single button in the game. And that's just kind of a silly way of doing it. Your Wi-Fi is bad? No worries. Thank you for stopping in. Let's keep going this way. And actually, let's see what Pokemon are on this route. Oh, Team Rocket's over here. We've got Poliwag. Don't need Poliwag now that we got Vaporeon. One master button PNG, but different text. Exactly. And that is how the UI in Moonshire is set up, where it's a lot more smart. I could catch the Poliwag. I'm not gonna catch the Poliwag. I want the EXP. Also, I don't have very many Pokeballs, so I gotta use them sparingly. I'm happy that they're like all the wild Pokemon are really high level. That's nice. Pikachu's stats are terrible. Yeah, at the moment he's kind of doing bad. Let's see. I can check and see what his IVs are. Maybe they're like really bad because it just feels like Pikachu's not doing too good. And I'm just gonna run. He's gonna die if I leave him out. I don't even remember what Pokemon are on all these routes. So he's got really bad special defense. I guess that explains why he took a lot of damage, but really he's not that bad. It's just probably just Pikachu's not very good. Especially compared to Vaporeon. Vaporeon's gonna carry. Display text, start with figuring out display PNG. A little different? Yeah, exactly. Let's see what's over here. I don't remember what's over here. I don't remember anything. I'm genuine about that. No special attack stat? Is there not? Oh, there is. There is. I called it sat rather than spat. Okay, there's nothing over here. I guess I can... Here, I want to go back up to this route and see if there's any Pokemon to catch. I'm... When this game is full screen on this monitor, I can't really see, like, what the time is. I don't know how we're doing on time, but... Bro! I gotta have this. Would I ever make another RPG? I would love to. I would love to make an RPG at some point. I don't want to risk a crit. I don't want to lose him. Vulpix turned a little bit yellow. Oh, it got paralyzed. Like it actually wasn't able to attack. And we'll throw one Pokeball. Oh, come on. Combat in this game seems very interesting. It's all right. I think it's interesting because the what is it? The animations are so fun. I bet Sandshrew has something that can weaken it down. Like cut won't kill, right? Why didn't that work? Oh, yes. Especially one that has Mario and Luigi style combat. Oh, that would be neat. I love those games. Please don't miss. I really want to catch this. Yeah! Okay. There's no nicknames in the game, unfortunately, so it's just Vulpix. But I'm very happy about that. Vulpix, how are its IVs? Horrible. Isn't that sad? Horrible HP in its special attack. That's sad. What else is in here? Your water... No way, the water stone wasn't used? That's crazy. That's totally a bug. Bro, I could have... That's so weird. That's so weird. I like that. That's fine. You should have picked up Firestone. Yeah, I could have evolved Vulpix right now. Venonat! I love Venonat! Are the stats just fully random? No, the stats are based off of the games. I use like the real stats. I hate the IV system. In general, like, it is kind of annoying when you catch something and it's like, oh, well, actually, this isn't good, just because the nature is bad. That is always annoying. I think I'm going to catch... No, I'm not going to catch this. I'm just going to kill it with fire. Dude, I should do, like, a full playthrough of this game. I really like it. There's a lot to like. It would be better if I could find a way to run the game without these grid, like the grid stuff. But I don't think there's a way for me to do that. I think it's always going to be there. Does the computer work? Oh, it does. Withdraw deposit. I don't want to do that. I'm very concerned. Like, if I put Vulpix in there, I'm worried that I'm never gonna be able to get it back out. Okay, it worked. It worked. I really did think that the Vulpix would be gone. That game is, or that grid is your fan game identity. You know what? Let's just phrase it that way. I like that. I like that positivity. It's weird how it's only certain tiles. I think I understand it. It's specifically tiles. You know, it's actually hard for me to explain. I don't really have a good explanation for it. But you're right. Like the water's not doing it, and the grass isn't doing it. It's the houses, the paths, and the trees. I don't know. It's pretty weird. Let's see what this gym is. This gym is the gym is grass. We just got Vaporeon. That's not good. Oh no. I don't think we're gonna be able to do this. I'm not suited for this. I got Vulpix and that's it. This is gonna be a very bad gym. Will I be getting Gen 10? I definitely will. This is Las Anna. It says level 8 Sunkern. I really like the gold, silver, crystal sprites. I think they look really nice. Gotta grind? I might. That's kind of cool. That actually works. Aw, man. Stop mega draining me. That just looks like the same effect as Leech Life. There's no PP in the game. I couldn't figure that out either. How long is this? This game is full. It is legitimately, there's 8 gyms and an Elite Four and then a post game. I put so much work into this game. I love that sprite. That is so funny. I love his mouth. Oh, I burned him. Let's see if burn actually works. Will he take the extra damage? He absorbed 1 HP. Oh, it worked. It did work. I thought for sure it wouldn't work. Grinding on your own game feels so amazing. I mean, it kind of is fun. I do have fun like coming back and playing this game because it feels like a real Pokemon game. It's just like weird and awkward. I probably need to go heal if I want Vulpix to do anything. What time is it? I think that it's probably a better idea for me to call it for the game and start working on my game, you know. We can come back to this later. Or really what I want to do, I want to do a full playthrough of this game. I want to do a full playthrough of this game and record it, and then have it available so I can always come back to it, because I really like it. I think it's fun. It's cool that I made this when I was a kid. Look at that cool guy. I'm pretty sure that's just like one of the trainer sprites. Do I have the source files? I do, actually. I have the GMK. I'm streaming on Twitch? Yeah, I should. How do I exit the game? Okay, there we go. For anyone who doesn't know, I was using this app called DG Voodoo to get this running properly. And I have this other emulator that can run it better too, but I have been having mixed results with that. Okay, wow, I forgot what I was even doing. What time is it? It's 11:18. Okay, so I got 40 minutes. What I want to do is show the big things that I was doing, because I have, like this last week and earlier today, I showed how you can make the elevated platforms. And then I showed in an earlier stream how you can equip like the pickaxe, and you can draw in the ground decoration. And look at the weird offset issue, the Y sort, so confusing. But this is how like the ground design patterns are going to be designed. So this was there last week. What I need to do now is show how we can now place props. So I can place down little blades of grass, and you can see them show up. I might want to make this a little bit more granular, because right now it's snapping to a fine grid, and I think it would be better if I could have full openness with it. Silk Song in the house? Oh yeah. Does this song give anyone else like PTSD? A few updates before actual release. That is the plan. In fact, really the plan is to try and get this level editor and like this whole new engine in a state where I can give it to people so you can play it yourself, because I would really love to have other people using this level editor, and that would get it would just give me a lot of ideas for things that people are making. I think I can design good levels, but I think other people will be able to design better ones. So it'd be cool to get this out for people to use. So in addition to the trowel, you can equip the mallet, and now you can build like boxes. And so that's what this looks like. So this is going to be how level design works in the game, is through using these different tools. How you can always change between the shovel, the trowel, the pickaxe, the mallet. There will probably be a few others. And this UI here is not final whatsoever. It's just something that I'm using for organizing things. But I like the idea of, like, you can have the shovel equipped in one hand and then the mallet equipped in the other hand. So then as you're designing, you can, like, say, I'm gonna put a little platform here. And look, the shadows are screwed up, but that's okay. And then I'll jump up here. I'll go ahead and put a box here and then a box here. And like you can just like cycle through the different tools to try different things and insert different things into the level. Would love to be a beta tester, sure. I would love that. Moonshire Maker, yeah. So someone else said that before too, and I like honestly resonates with me. It kind of is like that. You reminded me, in-game editor feels so good than using visual editor. It does, but at the same time, accomplishing something like this is extraordinarily difficult. It is hard, and it's still not done. I keep showing scenarios where things are breaking. Like I just like this. Look at this tile here. This is screwed up. That's better. That looks right. And then a second ago, I swear I saw the shadows were messed up. Whoa. Oh yeah, that's messed up. Look at this. Here's another weird one. Whoa! I don't even know what I'm looking at. I keep like falling through. Do I have multiple fog parallax layers? Yes, I do. That's something I should show off too, because I did name the stream weather. Because the fog wasn't here last week, and there are two layers. There's one that's closer to the ground and then one that's farther closer to the camera. And that really does help add depth, although I think it's a little bit busy. I think there's too much of the fog, where it's kind of interfering, I think, with the look. The way that the fog, or really a lot of these features are going to be set up, is in the game, you'll have this, or all the levels are built off of JSON files like this. And so there's just going to be properties. Like you can change the background color here. Let's change the background color to something crazy like FF5. This is going to be way redder. And all I did was change one value. And so changing the JSON changes the map. And this is what I mean by level editor whenever I say that. I mean that, oh, sorry. I have so many windows open I can't manage my tabs properly. Okay, there we go. So just changing one color, one value in the JSON changes the map. And it's the same with the weather, how right now it's raining at level 4. I could change it to be, I actually haven't tested snow for a bit. Let's try out snow. Let's try snow at 4 and wind at 50. That actually doesn't work. I think snow's broken right now because I was in the middle of reworking some things. Whoops. We'll change that back to rain, but I can change the wind. Parallax is so cool. I love it. It is a cool effect. It works really well for 2D games. It's actually not... I'm not seeing too much of a difference in the wind. I don't think it's being impacted very much because it is angling to the right, but probably not as much as I would have liked. Man, the level looks so crazy when it's red like this. I kind of want the thumbnail of the stream to be this red lava land because it just looks so visually distinct from everything else. Hello, folks. Hi, welcome in, Cosmo. By the way, Cosmo, you messaged me about the /live endpoint on YouTube, and it worked. And in fact, I updated ChalaChat so that it supports that now, where if I were to disconnect from YouTube and use the /live path that you suggested, it works. I was able to update ChalaChat so that it can handle that. So thank you for that suggestion. That was really good. Let's go back here, and I'm going to change the ground color back. Oh, I was gonna show the fog. So if I set it to fog 1, I think that's gonna change it so that it's just 1 layer of fog parallax. So this is what 1 layer of fog, but then I change that to 2. And there's a lot more of it, and there's 2 layers. You can see it, especially when I move around. There's the layer that's farther up, closer to the camera. And I think it also supports Fog 3. I haven't tested Fog 3 yet, though. Yeah, this is very, very foggy. Oh, I actually like this. It's too foggy. There's too many. There's too much visibility with the layers, but I do actually like how layered up it is. It's just too thick. VSC extension that makes color picker in the hex string. Yeah, I think it does too. Let me show that. I swear I have that. Why is it not showing up? I agree. It is supposed to do that. In fact, I thought I'd have it installed even. Rainbow CSV. No, maybe I don't. It's working here. Oh, you need the alpha channel. Is that all? Oh, because it's JSON. I think it's because it's JSON. Because in my Lua file, it does have the picker, and you can like change it like that. That's really nice. But in the JSON file, it's not doing that. It's not recognizing this string as a hex, which I suppose that makes sense. JSON's not code. JSON is just text data, so it does make sense. When you play the game, there's a loading bar. Is that normal? When you play the game, there's a loading bar. Is that normal? By default, Love2D does not have a loading bar because by default, most games load instantly. Even my game, if I took away the loading bar, it would be fine. It only takes 1 second to load. So loading bar is not necessary. But I did still implement one, and I implemented it, probably... Yeah, set loading progress. So when the game starts, it goes through all of these tasks. Like here, setting the filter, setting the randomness, loading all these modules, and then after it does all of these tasks, it sets the loading progress to +10. So in other words, it bumps the loading bar up 10%. And then it's going to load the settings, load the controls, load the schemes, load the localization, connect with Steam. And after doing all these things, it bumps the loading bar up by 5%. So after doing these things, it's up to 10%. After doing these things, we're now up to 15%. It loads all the assets, loads the cursor, the physics, and then it loads another 10%. So it really is just a bumping up of a variable artificially. I'm bumping it up by 10%, but that's just me guessing. That's just me guessing how much the bar should bump up. I don't actually know. But that's what I'm doing throughout the game, is that I have several cases, several points, where I'm calling set loading progress, and it's literally just updating that loading bar. And in fact, if you try to set loading progress after you're already at 100, it just stays at 100. It's all fake. It's just a visual indicator for generally how far along it is. XFC2T, hi, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Appreciate that. Wouldn't it be easier to have a circle? Can you explain how it would be easier? I'm not sure what you mean. There's an extension called JSON Color Picker. JSON Color Picker. Ba 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 ba. Load. JSON? It's like not even loading anything. That's crazy. In the past 6 months, it feels like the industry has actually seriously adopted AI for software development. Have you incorporated AI into my workflow? Yes, I have. I want to point out, though, that even though companies have adopted it, it is becoming more and more and more expensive. I talked about this a bit last week, but on June 1st, GitHub Copilot changed their pricing standards, and a lot of the other like coding AIs changed too, where you have to pay per token now, and AIs use an immense amount of tokens, where AI is so expensive to run now at modern rates that even though I do think companies are still going to keep using AI, it is still useful, they are going to need to moderate it. Because if you give an engineer, a software developer, access to a really good AI prompting model for their coding, and they have unlimited access to it, they could rack up $100 per day in tokens or more. If you're using like high-end models that are iterating on themselves, it really can stack up a lot. We're talking hundreds of dollars in just one day. So, and because it's becoming so expensive, I don't think companies are going to be quite as just like blindly gung-ho about it, because before you were seeing news articles about how like, oh, companies are adopting it so much, there's all these layoffs, they're not gonna need as many people. And there is some truth to that, but I think it was overstated just because of how expensive AI is becoming. Before, it was subsidized really heavily by the big AI companies, but now it's starting to be offloaded onto the people. Android's starting to adopt AI to the newest update. That makes sense. Taking too long to load. Yeah, it took a long time to load, but I think it's here. JSON for Visual Studio Code. JSON color picker. Yeah, it must have been down for a second or something. Which of these should I choose? This one has hex color picker. Does this work in JSONs? Because like this is like a detailed one. I don't want that. That's not necessary. Color picker everywhere. Yeah, we'll do this one. Let's see. Do I need to restart? Oh, no, I don't. Nice, that worked. Good suggestion, thank you. Check out a math problem. Given a polynomial, PR and P some K1 N belongs to... Oh, I'm sorry, I don't remember. Strayboard, I can't help you. I kind of remember working with stuff like that, but I don't remember. Polynomials, is that Calc 2? What decorations do you have already? Oh, yes, let's talk about that. Because I haven't shown too much. So, in the game, you change your item, so I can change over to the trowel. And when I have the trowel equipped, I can place grass. So grass is the first decoration. And then, when you have one of these tools equipped, you can open up a UI and change which one you have equipped. So this is all of the plants in the game right now. I can open up the blossom. And this is something else. I worked on this tree over the week, actually, where I changed how it ripples, and it's a little bit better. I like it. Oh my gosh. So these are the plant decorations, and you can just like place them all around. Then, how about we'll do stone. I like stones. They're rocks. Do you use much trigonometry math in your code? Yes, I use a lot of trigonometry. Trigonometry is well used. Remind me, but like someone mentioned polynomials. What are polynomials from? That really sounds familiar. Is that trig or is that calc? Because I don't use polynomials. I don't remember that. But trig is very common. Trigonometry is very common because, how do I explain this? Whenever you're calculating the angles between something, I think I have a better example actually, is the Chalake.com, the comic game. I think that this is a really good example of when trigonometry is needed in your code. Needed is debatable, because you could argue that an engine could do all of the math for you to where you don't need trigonometry, and that is true. But let's say that you were just coding all of this stuff on your own. Trigonometry is really common in game development because trig is used for determining angles. So notice how the comet is moving towards the mouse. If we were calculating the angle from the comet to the asteroid, you would use trig for that. If you've ever heard of SOHCAHTOA, you can calculate the angle from one point to another as long as you know the distances. If you know the right angle hypotenuse, has made so many fan games. I made a lot of games. But these are all original games that aren't fan games. And then these, I guess under games and under Playdrift, these are all custom games that I made myself. Embers of Life is a Zelda fan game, and then Pokemon Eclipse is a Pokemon fan game. But Artifact, here, I want to show Artifact. Artifact is awesome. This is a Zelda-like game. I might have actually showed this in my... Do I have a... I want to see if I have a file for this. I don't think I do. I don't think I do. So there's no file yet. I have to start. Oh, dang it. I can't show this game right now. I can't show this game right now because I don't have a save file. And this game takes so long to load. This game has this horrible scrolling intro, and you can't skip it. I don't know what I was thinking. There's no way to skip this, so I'll just like put this over here. I'll just let that run because it's just so bad. In the early days of the world, it all seemed to be at peace and harmony. It's so bad. It's so bad. It was written by a 13-year-old, so that explains it. Actually, no. Artifact was after Pokemon, so I would have been 15. I would have been 15 when I made Artifact. I created my own tile system for my game engine before I used tiled from itch. Nice, cool. Yeah, I use tiled a lot. Artifact really become an artifact. Basically, yeah. What that would have been either 2013 or 2014 that I made Artifact. And I'm excited to show it in just a second once the intro winds down. But man, I hate that. I hate that. How long it is. CG Kress, hi, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here on Twitch. Appreciate it. I'm showing some of my old games. But I was talking earlier, someone was asking about trigonometry in games, and CG Kress is a math expert, math and physics. And someone was asking, do I use trigonometry in my games? And the answer is yes, I use trigonometry a lot. Whenever you need to calculate angles between points, for example, the comets and these asteroids, if you have 2 points and you know the distances between them, you can calculate the angles using SOHCAHTOA. And calculus, though, I don't use calculus in my game development at all. And maybe that's just because I don't understand calculus as well. I took 3 years of calculus. Okay, the game started. His name's Harem. That's a horrible name. Why did I name him that? Is that even a name? That's a terrible name. It means something else. Here, I need to turn off the Stardew Valley music, because this game has custom music. This is some Chalacade original music. Oh, there's no full screen. Come on, is there really no full screen? Oh, that so sucks. How can there not be a full screen? Save to file 1. There has to be full screen. No, that just closed the game. I really want this to start working. Trick is life, it totally is. No, wrong game. No, I opened the wrong one. I clicked on the wrong thing, and you can't cancel out of this. No. Bummer. Man, that is brutal. I was really trying to make Artifact go full screen so I could show it, because you just really can't really see it. Oh man, what's going on? Something crashed. I think that Pokemon just crashed. Let's try Artifact again. I will. What a coincidence you named him Harem. I don't even know. I don't know what I was thinking. I was a child. How do I make this full screen? Come on. How is there not a full screen option? There's no maximize option. Come on, that sucks. I don't want to play it when it's tiny like this. It looks so bad. You can't see it. If I make the screen... Dude, that's going to screw up the stream if I do that. It's going to screw up the stream if I change the resolution. I can't do that. I might have to save this game for another day because... Oh, you can check after stream if it helps for sure. Sure, I'll check it out. Yeah, I'm going to save this game for later because if I can't go full screen, it's not worth playing. Alt plus enter. I'll try that. I'll try that one more time and then I'll be done. F11. I tried F11 and that didn't work, unfortunately. So we'll try, it was Alt Enter, that did not work. F11 unfortunately does not. Alt Enter. Whoa. That does something. That like makes the screen go black. Oh, it just makes the pause thing go. Yeah, bummer. I don't know how to fix that. That's the problem with these old Game Maker games is that you can't really easily edit these things because I have the GMK, but editing it is not easy, and then you have to recompile it. I don't really know how to do that. So I'll see if I can find a way to play this in full screen because this game's pretty good. I think I showed clips of it in the 2009 Game Maker Crab video on my channel. Okay, back to normal. Got 15 more minutes of stream, and we're gonna call it quits. So let's talk more about the decorations. So I was showing the plant decorations, or I guess you would call this natural decorations. The trowel has stones and plants and trees. And if I go over and change my tool to the mallet, the mallet is for man-made decorations, so boxes, and I can go in here, same thing. This drop down opens up all of the man-made objects. Obviously this is really ugly. The way it's stacked is awkward. I'm gonna change this, but it's still functional, so I can spawn balloons. And this is actually kind of strange. Look, the preview is floating. That's kind of weird. I didn't know it would do that. I love the balloons. Oh! Yeah, I love that. What else we got? We got, like, chests. I think that I can actually place a chest and then open it. Place chest. Yeah, I can. It's empty. It's an empty chest. Whoops. What do I think about ants at the ground being tiles with anthills too? That's nice. I actually love the idea because that's an idea from Silksong. In Silksong, there are ants that crawl around in the background or on the ground. They're just like small little things moving, and they like dynamic. Actually, the Silksong ants are the best because if you kill an enemy and its corpse is on the ground, ants sometimes come out and they pick up the corpse and carry it off. It's so funny. I love the ants in Silksong. I would love to do something like that in this. I changed how this long jump worked too. How you can change directions immediately with full velocity. Can you jump on the rocks? I still haven't fixed that. Whee! Blue popping minigame? Yeah, definitely. In the Steam demo, I think there is a balloon popping minigame already. Can you place tiles while long jumping? Can I place? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you can place them in the air. What I want to do though, and I haven't implemented this yet, what I want to do is make it so that when you jump, it will target the next layer up. So right now, if you click on a spot, it'll place a block, right? And if you click on it a second time, it'll get removed. what I want to do is when I jump, is I want to be able to like jump and stack them up. So like jump click would stack, but instead it still just removes it. So I want to do a stack jump. But I can set this to height 3 and just like set really tall ones right off the bat like this. And then do a 2. Do a tour. Yahoo! The boomerang minigame. Yes, exactly. A big reason why I want to get this game out is because I really want to have people test this movement. Because I like how this movement feels. I think that this like backwards forth long jumping looks kind of cool. How you can change directions instantly. I think that the dash like this is kind of cool. I'm on the fence if I want to put iframes on the dash, because it's a really short dash. You can customize the dash in lots of ways too. If I go over to Hero, there is a dash category. Dash. I can change the intensity to 20. So now when I dash, I'm gonna dash really far. Woo! Woohoo! Yahoo! Like that. But I think that might be maybe a tad overkill. That's why it's 2.25 as opposed to 20. And then there's some other ones like high jump. I showed this on an earlier stream how I changed the high jump so that... Oh, this is the long jump. High jump. I'll make this one 10, so now you jump really high. Yeah, we played a lot with this last week. Does jumping work in the Sky Dungeon? Does jumping work in the Sky Dungeon? Yeah, I mean, jumping... Whoa! In the Sky Dungeon is in the old... Like, this engine that we're looking at now is very different from the Steam demo, where the Sky Dungeon kind of basically needs to be remade with this new engine framework in mind. Maybe when you dash in a box, pot destroys. Oh yeah, I think I have something like that. Woohoo! Wave dashing, I mean, that is certainly an inspiration. Like, the way I'm doing this feels like wave dashing. Woo! I love the high jump. What other stuff do I got? I have a lot of things that you can adjust for the player. Sprint! Oh, this is another one! I haven't shown this yet. I added a sprint feature, because I'm still trying to figure out the controls of the game. I still don't really know what I want the controls to be. And I'm struggling a little bit with the crouch. So when you hold down the crouch button, you go into this crouch state where you do a little lunge forward. And that's how you do the long jump, is you do the little lunge forward and then you jump at the same time. But I'm a little on the fence about this feature because, like, being crouched to the ground, that doesn't really help anything. Like, being close to the ground like this, like being stuck, that's not really, it's not really that useful. So I experimented with this concept of sprint, where if you have crouch sprint and crouch lock turned off, the way that the crouch works is different. Where instead of being glued to the floor when you crouch, you can still do the dash, but when you keep holding crouch, you enter a sprinting state. And that just means that, like, you can kind of see that I'm walking faster. This is normal walk, and this is sprint. Here, I'll make it more noticeable so we can see it better. Sprint. We'll do speed factor 2, and then walk in rate 2. Woohoo! We're sprinting! And that's normal. Yo! But I thought that was a little too silly. You know, I don't actually want it to be this fast. I want it to be more like this. I have it set to 1.25, so it's 25% faster than walking, and the rate that the animation plays is 30% faster. So it's, in my case, like, if I were to do this, it wouldn't be that fast, obviously. It would just be 25% faster. But I think I decided against the sprinting system because I didn't really think it added that much. So this is sprinting right now. No sprint, dash is okay. I think so too. Is that just having the long jump is enough. Will you change the assets design, or is the final variant, for example, the design of some block shadows? Some things will change for sure. I would say nothing is finalized, but the style overall is. I'd say the style of the game has been pretty set in stone since the Steam demo came out. Like, all the bosses from the Steam demo, I still plan on keeping all of them. So I think the style is well in place. The only difference is, like, specific sprites that might not be working quite right. Time for you to sleep. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Let's get rid of these things again. What other things do I got? Got the long jump, dash, sprint. I already have that. Dash, jump. Land, auto dash. Oh, I don't think I can demonstrate that very well. The reason I have it modular like this, where I have like movement true, why would I ever want to turn movement to false and then run the game so that, well, I guess it crashes the game actually when I do that. What happened? Did I screw something up? Yeah, I think actually what happened is when you turn movement off but leave these other things on, it does screw things up. But you can turn like jump off. I did show this earlier. How, like, when I have that flag set, now suddenly my players can't jump. No jump. And that's useful because not every mob jumps. Some mobs, like the dummy. There's a dummy character. I'll show it. Sprites, mobs. We have this dummy. And like this dummy sprite is just meant to be staked into the ground, has no movement, it doesn't jump, nothing special, it's very simple. And it would be a waste if this dummy was calculating a bunch of like movement stuff or positioning or animations. This is a very simple thing. And that's why I went through this process of making all of these features flaggable so that you could like, or I guess a better one is these features impact a bunch of modules that get enabled. And that's the main thing where the performance gets saved. That dummy is in the Steam demo. Yes, it is, yes. If sprint is an option and it doesn't drain resources, I just always sprint. That's the way I see it too. Is I didn't really care for sprint because it requires you to continue holding down a button constantly. And I don't really think that improves the gameplay when you have to hold down a button. Like that's just more annoying than anything. Let's go ahead and fix this. But that does generally cover how I plan to be doing level design with this energy bar for sprinting. No, I'm not going to do that. I don't really... One, I'm trying to keep the UI as minimal as possible. Or HUD. And if I added a bar, it's just extra. I don't really want to do that. But then also, I've always found stamina to be a little bit annoying. Like, even in Dark Souls or Elden Ring, I find the stamina process to be kind of just a tedious thing to manage, where I almost just wish I could attack all I want, or sprint all I want. It would be a little bit more convenient that way. Bing Bing Bong Ding. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. I like your name. How do you feel about using Love2D? I looked into a few months ago, and it seems to not be maintained anymore. I use Godot and like it, but I was debating jumping into Lua or Python. Love2D is very well maintained. I use it a lot, and I think it's great. It's definitely worth checking out. There's a Love2D Discord server that's very active. They are actively working on Love2D version 12 or 0.12, and that's going to be a big jump. It's going to be a big improvement. It has been a couple years, maybe a year or two since Love 11.5. It might have actually been over 2 years. So that has been a while, but they are still actively working on it. If your concern about Love2D is maintenance, then Love2D is actually very well maintained. It's probably more maintained and better off than most. But I agree that Godot has more attention. It's more popular. Love2D is a bit more niche. It's mainly enthusiasts or, I don't know, people who want to use lightweight frameworks compared to an engine. How old am I? I'm about to turn 30. In 5 days, I'm going to turn 30 years old. Do I look 30? I don't think I do. But that's how old I am. I also like Love2D a lot, along with Monogame, Relib, and LibGDX. Awesome. I'm glad that you're trying out all of those. Those are neat. In 5 days, yep, on the 20th. That's the day. How did I learn coding? I learned coding just through making a bunch of games, because I learned like fundamentals from GameMaker. And even though GameMaker isn't a coding engine, it's like drag and drop logic. I still genuinely feel like I was able to glean a lot of information from GameMaker. I really feel like I got my start with coding through GameMaker, even though it's just the drag and drop logic. It's the same as Scratch or Snap. Those are some other programming languages that are drag and drop for basically entry level. It's meant to be really approachable. And I recommend it. I think GameMaker is super good, especially for beginners. But that's how I started, is learning the fundamentals through that. And then when I was in high school, I took a programming class when I was in high school. Actually, I took 2 of them. And then in college, I took computer science. That's what I got my degree in. Scratch is the best. Scratch is awesome. Scratch is a great one. Maybe add food to sprint. I think that I'm concerned about adding mechanics that kind of bog down the experience. I'm a little worried that if there was a stamina system or some kind of timer or resource that you had to manage for sprinting, I worry that it wouldn't be fun. I worry that mechanically it makes sense. And a lot of games do have sprint bars, but my big question is, would that make the game more fun to limit it? And maybe the benefit is that you wouldn't be holding down your sprint button constantly. But then the con is that you're now moving slower because you're choosing not to run all the time. I think I would just prefer to be able to run all the time. Isn't there an option to code in C or C# in GameMaker? I bet there is some sort of parsing or not parsing, translation layer where you can write a C# program and then it gets converted into the the GSL, or GML, excuse me. I'm getting a laptop for my birthday. I'm going to run Godot. I have a game idea about a roguelike, a skeleton who dies. Nice, that's cool. That's a cool idea. My word of caution, though, is if it's your first game, just be warned that it's very hard. Even if your idea is simple, it can be really, really tough. That's why I always recommend starting with a simple game. This is my first game. It's just a white circle that runs into black circles. And I really do recommend, try making this first, or make Pong. I always talk about Pong, or Breakout. Just some very, very, very basic idea. Just get a feel for the engine. Because even this game here has so much stuff that you will use in this roguelike idea you have. Your roguelike idea has movement, like this game. It has collisions. You're spawning stuff into the game. You're keeping score. You're keeping track of data, like this 15. You're keeping track of, I don't know, if you have ammo or something like that. You need to learn how to do that. So even if this game isn't what you want to make, it is a good experience to make it because you'll learn some stuff. You'll pick up on the fundamentals, and that's very important. Have I ever tried Pygame? Not directly, but I helped someone else with their Pygame, and it wasn't that much different between like what I'm used to, the frameworks like Monogame or Lua, Love2D. The stream is almost ending, yes, in actually 1 minute. I'll probably be off in just a minute. My first published game is a Square game I made with Love2D. Yeah, exactly. That's great. That's great to hear. People will call that the programmer art. This game here is an example of programmer art. Programmer art means that you are more code or logic minded and less art minded, because a video game is 2 things. It's half art, half code. And some people insist that they are not an artist. They can't make art. It's beyond them, so they are just a coder. And that's fine. But even a coder can make art. like what I'm showing here, everything that I'm showing, it's just circles. The stars are just circles. The asteroids and the comet, it's all just circles. There's no skill with the art. It's all what you would call programmer art. It's art that a programmer would make just to achieve, like, the vision. That's what you should make. Dude, if I can beat 51, I'm gonna scream. Uh-oh. Yes, new high score. Yes! Oh my gosh, I'm on a roll. This is by far the highest I've ever gotten. And actually, I think I'm cheating. It looks like it's like lagging. I think it was lagging. That was weird. 60! 60 is my new record. I've played this game so many times. I've never gotten 60. 60 is by far a new record for me. That is great. Because this game is not fair. You just lose after a while. And that's pretty intense. Okay. I think on that note, I'm going to call it quits for the day. It was a very good stream. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I'm glad that we were able to show off some of the level design stuff. I'm glad I was able to show off a lot of my old Game Maker games. It's fun playing the Zelda game, fun playing the Pokemon game. I want to do a full playthrough of the Pokemon game. I think that'd be really fun. Because it's a full, it's like end-to-end full game. It'd be fun to play through that. That'd be neat. But thank you everyone for being here, especially Baron and Wolf and Bing Bing Bong Ding and Buffalo Jake, Rhea, Greldek, Future, Tijlipa, Penguin, and then on Twitch, of course, we have XFC2T and Cosmo and CG Krez. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate the support, and I will be back next week for yet another Moonshire Monday. Thanks, everyone.